the issue of somebody who's playing for a first division club in Europe and somebody who's playing for a Premier League club in Zimbabwe. And Michael Nice believes there's a vast difference between the players. He's a strong believer of players who are applying their trade in Europe. Do you believe that players who are playing in Europe at the moment are much better than those who are playing locally?
Yeah, I do believe so. Because if you look at the first division or even the second division in Europe, they have the structures, they have the facilities. And despite being the first division or the second division, they have got the professional structures that support the players. But when it comes to the domestic league, yes, we might have the Premier Soccer League, the Elite League, but do we have the supporting structures? Do we have the conducive structures? Because when we look at our domestic league, how many players are we able to export who are able to go out there and make the cut wherever they go? We hear very often, ningaenda kuma trials, but you see them in a few minutes, they are back. Ningaenda kuma trials, in a short time, they are back. Do we have the structures that can produce that high caliber of players who can go and fit out there? But when we look at those Varkutamba, the first division out there, because they have the structures, they get the exposure. So we are a level higher than what we have in the domestic league. So
I'm going to introduce something a bit different, hey? Yeah. Yes, you spoke about structures and it's a support system that is required for these players to be at the optimum level. But does it take away the talent that a person possesses? Whether you're playing in Zimbabwe or you're playing further afield? It doesn't take away the talent. I believe that talent is natural, but who's your best player currently in the Warriors setup? Come on, go for it. Who's your best player? David is also going to give us his best player. In the current setup, the players that are in South Africa at the moment.
No, I don't want to put myself in that spot.
David?
I think all the players that are there, to me.
No, David, don't be political.
No, I'm not being political.
You remember?
I'm being honest.
No.
I'm being honest.
Wait a second.
If it was club level,
wait,
not national team.
Wait a second. David, when you went to school, my class menu, class 4B, the students that are there are not, so gifted. But at the end of the term, there is always number one in that team, in that class.
What do you
mean?
Because it's a collective.
No, it is a collective, but David, are you telling me that during the time that you were playing, that you could not sit as players and say, no, David, he's the best amongst us?
But what? For this setup in national team, you know say,
but you know the players. No, you know the players.
But it depends with the form. It depends with the form.
I'm not talking about form. I'm not talking about form. Who is the current best player?
Kubora, you talk about the form.
Statistics.
Form in the
So you don't know the form of the players who are in South Africa?
In South Africa?
Yeah.
Because we don't watch them like every week. Some of them wanted.
No, come on, David.
Yes.
How many?
Do we watch French League? Do we watch French League? We don't watch French League.
Who is playing his trade in France that you want to talk about in the Warriors setup?
Marshall.
And you don't know that Marshall has scored 1 goal.
But it doesn't exactly mean good. He was the Rams' best player.
I'm not talking about Rams. I'm talking about Zimbabwe. How many goals has Skama Billiard scored?
12 goals.
Yes.
Yeah.
So these are the stats that you are supposed to be giving us.
Okay. What about the defenders? How do you talk about the defenders?
The stats you spoke about stats.
Because one hour. This past weekend, Jordan Zemura is in the Italian best 11 and of the week.
Because he played a blinder. So when I ask you a question, Andiji, you give us the stats. No, Jordan Zemura played for a certain number of minutes and against this team. Wait. His team won by a goal to nil. He scored the goal. And he was also included in the Italian Serie A team of the week. So because of that, he is on form.
I see issue yo manje kufungwa kuti pangane ngari mfu. Because anogona kakatogweza free kick yo pamwe sitombo rimfomu.
It's your premier football show, The Couch, Wednesday at 9 p.m. Konapo, Ipapo, Pazetium Prime, DSTV channel 294, the place to be.